So guys, I am here live. How you guys doing? Okay, you got it. All right. So we did a poll today, and it looks like I'm going to be working on overall perspective. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do a couple demonstrations on. I like to stress the thinking, the way how an artist should think, or um, the the key structure to have in your head as you're thinking, as you're drawing. Some people they have other ways of expressing it or instructing it or demonstrating it. I try to stick with the fundamentals, give it to you, give you the basics, and show you how do you skin a basic shape. Um, it's kind of similar to well, if you guys okay. I have a little worry over here telling you good night. Okay. Good night. Bye. Good night. Say bye. Bye. Okay. Okay. Bye. Okay. Bye. 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 So okay. So okay. So like I'm saying if there's anyone who's actually built game models, that might not be the best way to explain it, but there is a way to sort of explain it, with that thinking. In 3D, when you're building an object, um, you actually have um, an object. Say you're building a hand, you have an object, and there's polygons. The polygons group together to make the geometry. Okay, so that's when you actually have something that's high res. Let's say you're building something in 3D, um, for like a movie or something like that. You're building a hand and you want to texture it and make it look real as possible. So you would actually build this hand with in 3D, and it's made up of a bunch of polygons. I'll quickly demonstrate for you guys on the page if you guys need to. Um, but for games, you would take that same basic shape and you would almost reduce the polygon count to a lower res. So it's pretty much done so that the processing speed and the computer isn't too bogged down. That's because if you have a character on screen, you have 400 characters, and each character has a million polygons on there. It's going to take a long time for everything to load and everything to go. So you have to reduce that. So you reduce that hand from, like, say it's 10,000 polys to maybe 120, something like that, something in that range. So you'd have to reduce it. So you'd basically have to lower the resolution down to primitives. It's still the same basic shape, but it's lowered down to the primitive structure of the hand. In 3D, it's sort of it's a little bit different because you have to connect the points. The polygons are all connected by points, and you have to connect everything, and it's based on the shape. And there's a lot of that's another direction. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's kind of in the same thinking, but it's different. But it's very much the same type of thinking behind it. So you just reduce the polygon count or the basic shapes to the primitives, and then what they do to make it look like it's not a low res is they will go into ZBrush, and they will you know apply all the shaders and everything that you can apply to it to make it look like it's high resolution. Um, so that's kind of the thinking behind it. So that same thought pattern is done with when you're actually building like a 3D model too at the same time. You start with a low res cube and you subdivide that cube until it gets more detailed and more detailed and more detailed and more detailed until you have like a basic shape, a human head, a human body, human hands, truck, wheels, birds, whatever you're going to build. So that's kind of the same thinking behind it. When you're drawing this, you're applying that same thinking to a 2D surface, a 2D realm. Okay, so now you have to, if you don't understand perspective, you understand how certain things come at you and certain things go away from you, and the distance between those two and how to interpret that. If you don't understand that, then it becomes harder. Then it gets to the point where you're drawing an arm and it's the guy is punching at you like this, but yet both arms look the same size. So it looks like it's in an orthographic view versus a perspective view. So it starts to, you can't just have you can't have that look to it. So you have to be able to push it. So the way how you push it is to reduce what you're thinking back to the primitives. If you reduce your thinking to a primitive form, basic squares, perfect basic rectangles, basic circles, basic triangles, you reduce it to that, then you place those objects in 3D space on a 2D surface. You place those in that space. Then, and once you have it in position where you want it, now you can subdivide it and add detail to it. So that's the thinking about it, how you want to approach it. Some people, it's a little bit harder for them to get, but I think the reason why it's harder is because you haven't trained your brain to think in that direction, or you haven't done enough groundwork to actually understand it, and you're trying to finish too fast. It's like, you're you're trying to rush to the prom, and you're like, I can't wait to get to the prom because I'm going to have so much fun at the prom and hang out with all my buddies and my friends. And then by the time you get to the prom, you forgot your pants, you forgot your shoes, you only have a tie on and a belt, and you're thinking you're great, you're well dressed, and you're not. You forgot everything. So you have to think about these stages as you move forward. Think about what's the makeup of all these objects that as you're going, and constantly subdivide and just adding detail, adding detail as you go. So I'm going to jump on and I'm going to show you guys what I'm thinking about, what I'm talking about. So let's see what we can do. Um, okay. Making sure you guys, I hope you guys can hear me. I hope I wasn't saying all that and you couldn't hear me. So, okay, here we go. And I'm done. I'm kidding. Okay, so one of the cool things about Clip Studio, Clip Studio has, Photoshop has some tools too, but I think Clip Studio has mastered it to the point where it literally took a lot of the tools we use already. You can go to the art store and buy a bunch of these tools, and it literally just slaps everything into this program, and it perfected it. And it's easy to use. It's literally like on a shelf, grab it, here it is, and you can use it. So, what I was talking about, primitives. We all know that our primitives these are the makeup of our primitives, okay? So, and this is the cylinder, but it's literally, I'll draw it as a rectangle. Now that's your basic makeup of the primitive. Now if you take those primitives and you put them in perspective, they're going to look either like this or like this. Obviously, this is going to still be a circle. And with this one here, you can actually go ahead and make it into a long rectangle, or you can make it into like a cylinder. Okay, so this is like the basic makeup of what your pyramids are. So you'll be using a combination of all of these to help define anything from a car to a tree to a house to you know whatever, fingers, eyeballs, teeth, the whole head, the whole body, feet, all that stuff. Okay, so I'm giving it to you guys right now. This is sort of remedial. Sorry, my mouth is dry. It's sort of super basic on that, but um, basically, I don't care. I'm going to give it to you anyway because I need you guys to kind of get a sense of it. Okay, so um, basically, what I'm going to do now is this. Let's say you have a guy. You're drawing a guy here, and he's doing. This is feet. This is hands. Right here. Okay. Now, if you're going to draw this guy in perspective, obviously he's going to do something. It's going to come up maybe something like this is the generic cheesy way of doing this. So that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to skew that guy so that some portions of him is further away from to your eye than the others, and other portions are closer to your eye. So what you want to do now is this. If you're going to draw someone's head, I always start off with the head. You're going to create the body. Actually, I'll turn it off so you won't even see it. I'll try to get the body in this shape. I create the pelvis. I create the legs, feet, shoulders, elbows, hands. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking as I'm laying it out. Okay. Actually, this is what I'm placing down, but what I'm thinking is closer to this. Say you're going to actually have basic shapes. If this guy was made up of a bunch of boxes, he's going to have boxes all over the place. And I know you guys some of you guys are like, okay, this is super basic. I've seen this before. That's fine. I still need to go over it because I need us all to be on the same page. So this is what we're going to do. You can do the same thing with circles, which I already did that. You can do the same thing with cylinders. Oops. Looks like Tin Man or something. Okay, so now next one is um, actually, so where are we right now? Let me see where we're at. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys a cool tool in Clip Studio that if you do download the program or you purchase it, you can use this tool to completely help you with perspectives. And it's like it's a cheat, but I would recommend to use it because it will save your life. It'll save a lot of your art, your pieces. And the cool thing about it is that you can use this tool and then print it out. Let's say you're going to draw, you can use it to create whatever shape you want, print it out, and then just light box right on top of it if you want to. There's a there's a ton of different things you can do with this. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Where is this piece? Okay, so now I'm going to show this. Actually, I'm going to pull this tool out for you right now so you guys can see it. So you go over to this 3D object. Pull this up. So you have this shelf right here. All these different objects you can grab. You can grab in hands. You can grab, and they're already in like a pre-pose. So you can pretty much grab whatever you want and run with it. Say you want this character, you drag and drop it in there. And now your character is in there. So you can literally go through and start to change whatever you're trying to draw. And then once you figure it out, whatever you have, then you can go ahead and you can treat that layer as a as a as a normal layer. Okay, so what you can do is go ahead and what's this? What I like to do is once I have this, I typically just go ahead and just merge it down. So once you merge it down, it's still on its layer, but it's not 3D anymore. But now you can blue line it, and you can treat it like it's a layer. So you can lower the opacity on it. You can do whatever you want with it. You can change the colors from that to reds, whatever you want to do. So now you have that. Now you can go in and start drawing right on top of it. Put this away. So now the primitives. Watch this. So this is the same primitives that I was using before. Exact same thing. Now you could have I could have done that with a bunch of cubic shapes. So now you get a sense of how things are going to fall into 3D space using a 2D platform. So when you hide it, you kind of get a sense of it. So I'm going to draw not using this, but I'm going to draw using this because I want you guys to get a sense of how to break down this shape without the cheating side, without that actual tool. So let's lower the opacity. Next thing you want to do is from this point, since everything's in place, you're like, okay, you figured out where things are going to go. I always start to lay down the pieces like this. And just so this will help me define the area that I'm working with. So if you ever get a chance and you download this program, use this tool to the fullest. And don't be afraid of it. Don't think you're cheating. There are no rules. There's no art policeman that's going to come and arrest you because you decide to cheat. You won't get sued. So just go ahead and just use the tools to your fullest. Okay. So from that breakdown, I'm going to break it down even further. So now you have this character sitting in this space right here. And there's these other objects that's in the background that you can do. You can easily apply these things. It could be whatever. It could be from cylinder to whatever it is. It could be something even lower. Let's say it's like another shape down here that goes lower. So kind of get a sense of this. Now, go ahead and hide that. And now you kind of get a sense of how we went from there to there. So see, this is nothing but a guide. Use this as a guide and you shoot for that. So um, these are the steps that you want to go from. Okay, actually this is where I would start. This would be step 1, step 2, and step 3. And then from that point you can start adding more and more detail. You can add clothing, you can add jewelry, makeup, lighting, all kinds of stuff that you can add to it. Yeah, this is going pretty fast. I actually started late and still I'm pretty much down into it. So I'm gonna show you guys another perspective tool that I've used that comes with Clip Studio. It's really cool. I will show this to you guys right now. One second. Okay. So, actually, I'm going to start off with, I'm just going to color this just so I'll know where it's at. Now, check out this tool. If you go over here to the far left, see this ruler right here? It looks like a triangle. you can use that. That's your freehand ruler tool. There's another one that there's another way of actually creating. So what you're gonna do is you can go in and you just start drawing. What you're gonna do is you can start creating perspective lines. So now you have your perspective points. Now this is more of a free perspective type of thing. So you could literally like shift your vanishing lines where you know just to kind of fit something. But you can, but I wouldn't recommend it unless you actually know what you're doing. Um, but if you don't know what you're doing and using this tool, what I would do is start with this. Go up to Layer, Ruler, and right here you say Create Perspective Ruler. And now you have the options to choose 1, 2, or 3-point perspectives. So let's say you're choosing a 3-point perspective, and it says, and keep Create New Layer on. You hit OK. Now this pops up. If you're in a PC, you hold on Control. I think on a Mac, it's whatever the control button, the alternate for the control button is for the Mac. So you hold down Control and you click on the line, and now it illuminates or it brings to life the handles. So now you can move things around and try to. This is the vanishing point right here. The horizon. This is the horizon right here. So from the horizon, you can set the horizon where you need to. You can actually put it way off from the page if you need to. Like say the horizon's over here. You can do that if you want to. So you can move stuff around um, until you find the shape you're looking for. Let's say the horizon's over here. So now you have these vanishing points here. So now you can go ahead and play around with the vanishing point. You can either grab it from these control points here, or you can grab these points. If you look on the sides, you can see this. Oh, I can't zoom in on that, but you can see these two little plus handles here. So you can grab one and just move things around. The one in the middle actually moves that line, so you can go ahead and figure out what you want. So you can lay it down based on whatever layout or reference that you're using. This button here on the side turns that line off and on. So if you click it, it turns to green, that means it's off. Once you click it again, it turns to purple, and means it's on. So, now you have a setup. And then you can go through and change your axis here on the Y. And you can set up however you want, like this. So now you're moving the vanishing point to kind of match something. Let's say that's what you're looking for. Now you have that. You have the capability of drawing on a separate layer now. So you go back to your pencil tool or your pen tool, whatever you're going to use, and now it's going to keep all your lines justified with this. It's going to keep everything in perspective. This. This is it. Here. So whatever you're drawing, it keeps everything in perspective for you. So it's right here. It's ready to go. I'm just making up these shapes. They don't really mean anything. But now you get a sense of whatever you're going to draw. So what I like to do too is as I'm drawing, because this keeps everything in perspective, and let's say I want to draw like a curved shape or something. I just click off the eyeball, and now the perspective ruler is gone. And I can go back to freehand. So then I can go in, and you can add all kinds of details. You can add you know, little things here and there. You can add a little something over here. You can add, you know, someone sitting on a corner, like whatever it is, or looking out a window, whatever you can draw. You know, if this is a like a stained glass window, you can go through and do some stuff here. You can add bricks if you want, or just beat it up, add some detail. Um, so you can go through, you can start doing some shading from that point. Whatever you're trying to get to. And let's say you want to go back into it, just turn back on the eyeball like this, and you're back. So now you can keep going where you left off, like this. This is one of the coolest tools in Clip Studio. This will save your life over and over and over again. Now look how fast I'm going, and I'm not even thinking. I'm not using this, just it's all right then and there. So let's say that was that. Let's say I was doing this for a character that's in a scene. So what you want to do, you can go ahead and you can use the freehand ruler tool, and just go ahead and this is my layout. So just go ahead and find 2 points far from each other, and just find that right angle. Bam. So now I have 1, 2. Now go for the next one. There's another one here. 1, 2. Now I have the grid for the floor. Now let's say I want to create, I have everything set on the X and the Y, I meant the X and the Z, and now I need to push it on the Y. So I want to go through and say something like this, something like that. Now I have everything set. So now when I go through, I grab my layer. I'm just going to lower the opacity of this so we can see. Now I can go through and start adding whatever I wanted to draw in the background. Whatever it is. Now, at this point, I'm just making it up, so it doesn't really matter. So another thing I like to do too is this. Watch this. Let's say I'm drawing this piece here, and I want to connect these 2 points at a different angle. Just go ahead and you hold out, you click first, hold on Shift, and it creates this handle. So now you can move it wherever you want, and it keeps the line nice and clean, justified, everything. So you can go through and start doing that. You can go through and start, let's say he's walking on a tile floor or something. So go ahead and make a tile floor. It's that easy. And it keeps everything. Now, I'm going to research this a little bit more, but from the only thing that I noticed so far that bugs me is let's say I want to place like a round object like that tire in the background, um, and I'm like, okay, I can't draw a tire. Look, it's coming out crooked. And I say I turn off the ruler, and I'm still trying to draw it, and it's still coming out, crooked. Okay, if you keep the layer on, and you go to your marquee tools, which is up on your far left, which is I call them whatever it is. So you pick the ellipse, and then once you start drawing, It keeps everything justified for you like this. Let's try moving this over. Oh, I got one. Say right there. There it is. So now you have this selection. Now, what I like to do is go back to my pencil tool. One thing you can do, I have this button set up here at the very top, which is the outline selection. Which when you click on it, you can actually go ahead and it'll create this little outline for you right here on the outside. That's one way of kind of knocking it out really fast. But as you can see, I'll do it again because you can actually increase the size of that line. So let's say I pushed it to like a 10. But as you can see, it's a solid ink line versus a pencil line. So it's up to you as the artist. If you want, that's fine for you. If you want to keep it, just go ahead. You can keep it. Another thing I like to do too is, let's say, because it's still selected. So I go ahead and pick. I'll make this line like pretty thin, somewhere like a 2. And now I have this option here. So now I have something that I can go through and turn that off. And now I have a guide on what I'm looking for. Because let's say I wanted to add some detail to it, so push this back and forth. So now you can go through and quickly pencil in some details. This. Hannah's here, guys. She joined a little bit late, but
hey guys.
She's here. Guys and girls, I should say.
Did you guys miss me? I missed you guys.
But as you can see, how it's there. I literally just set the motion, and it's another cool thing. Watch this. So I should have shown this to you guys before. Let's say I'm going to create on a separate layer. I'm trying to do, that the wheel, right? So I created this. Actually, yeah, somewhere around here. Yeah, that's good enough. So let's say that's the shape I was looking for. What you can do too is go ahead and create that outline, and that's on a separate layer. So now I can go through and just scale that layer and just move it where I need to. Somewhere around there. Copy, paste, scale that layer again, and move it where you need to. Copy, paste, scale. You can move some stuff. Move some stuff down. Yes. And then all I have to do is just go through, do some cleanups, eraser tool. Yeah, didn't get the other side, so let's see if we do this. This is all for guide purposes. Guide purposes. Not so. Here we go. We got the hiccups. They might I either ate food too fast or I need some liquids in my system or something.
Can I have some of my tea?
Hold on.
Really
Hold on. So, okay, so as you can see, that's this. I'm just kind of setting it up right now just so I can go through and start drawing. So I'm just going to merge everything so everything's on the same layer, and then you go back to the pencil tool, and then from there you can go to the wrong pencil tool. So now you can go, okay, sorry about that, turn this off. Now I can go through and you can start adding details. Let's say it's whatever. Let's say there's blood that's sitting on it. You want to draw some blood. You can do that. You can go through and start, shading whatever you're going to shade. Um, but at least you have a guide right there. So now you have a guide. You can go through and start adding little details. Maybe you want stripes going across it like this. It's up to you as an artist. But so it's up to you. So you would define that, and you would go ahead and play around with that side of things, and you keep going until something's there and something that you like. So this is something that's real cool. So this is one thing I like. Now let me go back to the those tools again. Now some of you guys have problems drawing hands. Here it is. You got a hand tool right here. So you can go through, and then if you look up at the top, you see these options. Let me close this real quick. So you have this thing at the top. I'm going to show you some other cool stuff about this in a minute. So here, if you click on that, this is your camera tool, where you can use to rotate around an object. You can use to zoom. This one is to move. This one is to zoom in, zoom out. This one here is to actually move the 3D object in 3D space. So let's say he's sitting here, and you want to lower him below the floor, or you want to raise him above the floor. Somewhere around here, where he was sitting before, he was sitting on the floor. So this one, see how the 3D object is rotating in that space, but the space itself isn't rotating. This is just the object that's rotating. That was the free rotate. This one here is the rotate on an axis. So I think this one is rotates on the X.
What kind of tablet are you using?
I have a Cintiq. This one rotates on the Y right here. And this one, last one, I think this one moves it in on the Z, on the Z or the X, either one it moves it. So check this out. You click on the object, you can start to move the object around. You can move the hands, and it gives you these handles too. So you can move the hand back like this. You click on this part here, you can move the hands, bring that arm up, this. Click on this part of the shoulder, move the hands up, find the right angle you're looking for. This here is this is the puppet tool right here. This one here is the you actually switch on this. Oh, the Cintiq I have, it's the 24. I think it's a 24. What? No, I think this is 24 like HD or something. I can't remember which Cintiq I have. Which one is it? I wonder if you guys can see this. Hold on.
Is it an older one?
No, that doesn't give me that. Wacom touch properties. Is this what it is? Nope. Yes, 24 HD. I was correct. 24 HD. So, see these? You see these handles? This is your puppet tool. This is your puppet handle. See how it moves like a puppet? So you can actually move the character around like this. You can move his upper body just from his head. You can move things around. So these points pin the objects, pin certain points in space. So if you pull his hands, watch this. Say you're moving things and you pull his hands this way, the rest of his body won't move because everything's pinned. This is a really cool tool because this here looks like I use Lightwave and Maya, and there's tools in both of these that are similar to this. It's pretty cool. So now you can go through and you can rotate the body wherever you want. Click on his head. His foot looks kind of big. That means we need to do something with that. Look at all these presets. So this thing is so cool, man. This thing, you guys just get this here and start playing around with it. There's tons of crap you can do with this. But let's say it doesn't matter because this is just a 3D model. Oh, this is another really cool thing too. You can import 3D models into this. So let's say if you found like a fighter jet that you really like, you can import that 3D model the fighter jet into this and use that as a backdrop and draw on top of it. So many cool things you could do with this. So here it is. What I'm gonna do is yeah, so you can just, there you go. There's a new one. Yeah, right here. So once you rasterize the layer, it turns it into a like it flattens everything out basically that's in that layer. So if you have like we'll talk about it later. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lower the opacity on that one, and you do the same thing again. So these perspectives tools, you guys start using them. This is gonna help you do whatever you want. Let's say move them down a little bit. Yes. So from here, you can go through, start applying basic shapes for the character.
You asked about
Bumblebee, like a robot. If you find a, if you can find them, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can import it. I'm not sure about the resolution, like what's the highest resolution object you can import. Um, I'll have to research that to see. Uh, Maybe someone can just email Clip Studio and ask them that question, and then they'll answer it for them. But now you actually have this tool, and there's an option too. When you can actually like make the character fatter, thinner, make you can change the basic shape of him too. So there are options that you just have to play around with it. Let's say this guy is let's say he's, I'm just gonna start drawing. You tell me what he looks like. Say this guy is, who do you guys think this is? First person to name it. Who do you think it is? Ah, he got it. How did you know, man? Jesus. Am I just is it you're like super talented in comics or whatever? I'm gonna change his leg. I want his leg to look a little bit different. Somewhere around there. See that arm's a little bit off. Well, it's a bit of perspective, but there's a cool thing about it. You're an artist, so you can move things around wherever you want to. So, I had some pretty cool phone calls today. Um,
One Punch
huh? Well, yeah, One Punch Man. Yeah, I was watching that the other day. So freaking cool.
Man.
I know.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
It's all good. Have you guys ever seen One Punch Man? That's like one of the coolest cartoons out there.
What about your phone calls?
Oh yeah. So, well, I don't want to give it away too soon,
Oh my goodness.
but I like teasing people for some
Oh
reason.
yeah.
I like
Okay,
teasing
what
them.
do you
There's there's some pretty cool things I have cooking in the background, man. I can't wait to tell you guys about it.
do? That is specifically for you guys.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's not for me. I'm doing it for you guys. So, as you can see, just kind of adding shapes. So he's going in there. You could draw whatever you want, This one here, whatever. Maybe his leg is coming forward with this. I'm changing the shapes. Calves will come out of here. The Flash has like big running calves, like Usain Bolt. But now you guys get a sense of it. See how you kind of you're scribbling, you start moving things around. You can start making like really cool. Um, you can pull a really cool character out of just out of that object right there. So if you ever get a chance, if you guys do have this program, get it, jump on it tonight, jump on it tomorrow, whenever you get some free time, practice, use these tools. It comes with it. You don't have to pay any extra money. You don't have to download a separate package and then upload it. It comes pre-packaged already. Um, this is a really cool program. I've been using this for about 4 years now. Um, yeah, and first time I saw it, I fell in love with it, and I've been using this for pretty much everything. But yeah, so this is that for that. Now, anything else? I kind of feel like I did a lot of stuff for you guys. Anything else you guys want to know? Just go ahead and just let me know, and we still have time. We have a little bit under an hour, but we still have time.
Tutorial day.
This is tutorial day. If you guys don't have anything else, I'm gonna pull open something and start coloring, just so you guys can watch.
There are
So
a couple of people who wanted hair.
a couple of you guys wanted hair. It was a choice. It was hair or this one, right? I should flowing hair. Oh man. All right. So you guys want to learn how to draw hair. Um, I wish if I asked a question, how many people out here don't know how to draw hair? Raise your hands.
Raise your hand.
I bet there's people right now raising their hands, and I can't even see it, but I bet there are. So, let's do this. Let's do this. Clean this up a little bit. There you go. You're waving hands with me. I had a feeling. Okay. Like the hey you did for the Joker piece. Okay, so that Joker piece. So yeah. So that piece is getting inked right now. Um, what? Am I? Well, this is a gorilla. Am I drawing a gorilla's hair?
No,
No.
just get to look at it.
No, I'm okay with that one. Do you find when you use the perspective tool to draw, the drawings come out more stiff? Um, honestly, I never use the perspective. Wait, we mean? Well, I use the perspective tool for backgrounds. I don't use them for characters. Um, if you're talking about the 3D object in there, I never use that because I don't need to, but it's still there for people who need to use it. So if you have it, use it. It's going to help develop and help you understand because this is basically it walks you through that framework, so you don't have to think, you don't have to you don't have to try to figure it out and try to go back down to this and then on top of that, once you have the blueprint, you can lay down the primitives on top of it to help you even understand it even more and then start drawing on top of that. So I completely recommend that tool. So use it as much as you can. I don't really need it, but I do need it for. I use the perspective tool, the rulers, the perspective ruler for like backgrounds. They're, and it's mostly for like when I don't have time. Like say I'm drawing something and like I got to get this done in the next hour because I got to start coloring it by 3 hours from now. I need to have this thing finished. Great. But if I pencil it on paper, it can take me 4 hours just to pencil it on paper because I need to lay it down, think about it, move things around. But once you lay down the grid, you just go. It's done, and you can knock it out in no time. So, so I use it for speed. That's usually what I use it for. But it's not like I need it to help, with my perspective or anything, because I have a good sense of perspective in my head. But it just takes longer when I freehand it. So that's basically it. But I know there's some people there who absolutely need it. So that's why I showed the tool because that's something you can practice on your own without a tutor, without anyone. You just open it up and start using it. Right? It's pretty much self-explanatory the way how you can use it. So and on top of that, if you go to like YouTube or just Google, there's other tutorials, there's videos of people using this that you can use. You can jump on and just kind of, figure it out by yourself. You can use that to help guide you through what you're trying to do. Right? Is that? I'm just bad with names. His name is Rothe, right? I'm assuming Rothy 44. I'm like, hey, hey. I'm just bad names. I'm horrible. Please don't make me I don't need to go to anyone's graduation or ruin their graduation with any final announcements. Um, do you find when you use okay, we already did that. It's like a joke. Okay, so I'll try to do some. I'll do a little bit of here. I won't do too much. Um, okay, okay, Rothy. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Um, I appreciate you coming in and
You should.
hey, how you doing? I'm I'm just gonna say hi. I can't pronounce that. Sorry. I'm just gonna say hi. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. I just did a perspective demonstration and I'm about to jump on and do some hair. Okay, let's say I'll do this. I'll do this for you, Wildstorm, since you want hair so much. Let's say the Flash has hair.
Have you already done basic anatomy tutorial? That's really good player.
Yes, I have. So this is how I quickly do here. Let's say the Flash had a rip through his suit. and he needs here. So what I'm doing, I'm just throwing shapes. It's basically a bunch of S shapes at different angles. That's basically all I'm doing. Okay, if you look at it, it's just a bunch of S shapes. Sometimes I'll go a little bit longer, but then it starts to look weird. So if I stick with just the S shapes, you can draw an S here, and then draw another one here, and then draw another one here, and then draw another one here, and draw another one here, and draw another one here. It starts to, you start to piece it together, and now it turns into like like a puzzle, like a complete puzzle, like a, what do they call that piece that fits like that, whatever it's called, jigsaw puzzle. So that's what it's called. So once I have those shapes, the next thing I would do, since if I had a pencil, but I'm using a digital pencil, I would go through and start to quickly define the dark areas. Just kind of quickly lay down some dark areas and say, okay, I want this here to look something like this. Okay, then I'll go back to the tip of the pencil, or a sharper piece, and I'll start to outline those areas and enhance it, double up on it. So I just outline it like this, and then just add a little bit more around it. Outline, add a little bit more. And you don't have to get super clean with hair. Your inker will clean it up for you. So just kind of outline it like this, and then if you have to, go ahead and draw, like say you draw a hair cross, go ahead, just draw another branch, another group of hairs, and just kind of going across, like that's fine. Just go ahead, just do something. Um, Here, it looks a little weird here. So that's basically how I draw hair. Just kind of keep it simple. I remember when I was in high school, I had that same question. I used to draw hair a lot, but for some reason I feel like I didn't understand it. And I went to my art teacher, and he was like, I was like, how do you draw hair? And he was like, he just sat me down. He was like, oh, all you do is this. Just do that. And I was like, oh, and I've been doing that ever since high school. From that one day. My art teacher is really cool. Really cool guy.
Matt asks, what if you are the inker too as well as the penciler?
So if you're an inker too, great. So you can set the pace, because if you know what you're going to ink, you know how to set it up. So set it up for you, thinking I'm going to clean it up anyway, and I know I know. So you establish those parameters. You establish how you want to set it up. Give it to yourself, and then you just kind of take off from here. Like for me, if I was inking this here, I would blue line it like this. For now, I'm just going to lower the opacity just so you guys can get some good contrast in this. So now I'll go through, pick the pen tool. I love using this pen tool. Now I have it. Now I would go through and start to, now I'm using it as a guide. So I'd go through and start to ink. I know it's going to go black in certain areas. Here. It's all black in there. It's all black in here. So everywhere is black. I'm just going to put an X like this. So everything I threw in the pencils, it's basically just a guide for me. So now I'm really drawing the hair. It's with the inks. So I'm doing with the inks right now. So, so it's that easy. And you just keep going and going. And I like to use the bucket tool. Just go through and just fill it. I got fill it in, fill it in. You know, let's say it was closed. Fill in black. Do some cleanup work on it. And now you have this ink piece. And the cool thing, it's on one layer, so you can still make selections like that. And you know, so you can do what you want with it. So I went from that piece, see? So this is the basic setup for that. You know, just to kind of show you guys what I did. So for those who came in late and didn't see this, I'm going to quickly go through it. So I went to this shelf right here, which has a lot of 3D objects. So you just basically drag and drop into your page. And then once you drag and drop on the page, you can rotate the character to whatever perspective you want. You can move the arms, the legs, to whatever you want. And then I started to draw. Once I started to draw on top of it, I had the basic shapes. And then after that, I started doing some hair, just to kind of show what hair would look like on this character, or how would I draw hair. And then from there, I just went through and just inked it out really quick. So that's the basic setup for that. Anything else? Anything else? I'm here to pick my brain, guys, because I'm here. So just ask me whatever questions you need. I'll try my best to answer anything you can think of. If not, I'm probably gonna just have about 30 more minutes, so I'm probably just gonna grab a piece and start coloring it so you guys can see. Let's see. No questions are coming in, so I guess I'm gonna color. Just keep drawing. All right, no problem. I can do that. All right, let's do that.
You can draw me.
I can draw you.
Yeah.
No.
Can get an idea.
All right, sure.
Just kidding.
No, I'll draw you.
No, it's okay.
No, I will draw you.
No, it's okay.
No, it's okay. Let's draw Hannah. This is what Hannah looks like, guys. This is what Hannah looks like. There you go, Hannah. Woo-hoo. That's her headphones. And then she has like a button. She has little lips. She has a little nose. And these little eyes. Looks, oh my god.
I don't even have headphones.
She looks something like that. Okay, so here we go. Let's get serious. So I will draw.
I look like a character from Daria.
Daria?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's get serious. I'm going to draw something else for you guys. So let me give me something else to draw, and I'll redo it again in perspective. I'll use the perspective tools.
Drawing a person.
Drawing a person in perspective. Any person. Give me a character. A cool character. Think of something. Come on. Someone out there has an idea of what they want me to draw.
A blonde with curly hair smoking.
A blonde with curly hair smoking a cigar. Done. A Juve. Oh, that's a good one. I love it. Juve, Punisher, Superman, Magneto. All right. I have about 30 minutes. I'm going to try to draw all of them. Okay? Here we go. I know. Can you believe that?
I think Wildstorm wants you to really draw Christine Lee.
Okay, let's say. All right, let's go. I'm going to use. Okay, let's do this.
Wildstorm says, shh. Doesn't want me to give away his secret.
Oh, okay. Let's say it's I want to do that one. Use this tool. Here we go. One character. It's another character. I'm just going to place characters in this world. See what comes out of it. It's another guy back here.
Wildstorm says, looks like the Louvre.
The Louvre. So how many characters am I drawing? Let me see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the curly hair guy. Let's see. We could do yeah. There it is. I'm just gonna put this curly hair guy over here. Someone's on the floor. Which character am I gonna draw on the floor? It's kind of crazy.
That's what I feel like doing. Lie down.
I don't know.
It's from Baby Cobra.
Okay, so I'm gonna rasterize this. Bam. I'm gonna hide this. Blue line it. So now I have this.
Are links allowed in chat? I think so. You can try.
You try it and see what comes out of it. So I'm going to just scale that really quick, lower the opacity.
Excuse me. So dusty.
And all right, here we go. So who am I drawing? This is not. Actually, I'll put Superman back here in the back. I'll do this guy. It'll be Superman back here. So, template that. So this guy here will be.
So go for some Mexican food.
Yeah. One day. This is Superman. I'm gonna push his anatomy a little bit.
Well, thank you. I don't know how to say your username. Yes, FS Marion. I feel like a substitute teacher.
Yeah. Yeah. Dave Chappelle. He was as the substitute teacher naming. That was it.
No.
This is Dave Chappelle. No, it was
Michael.
yeah. Whatever that. Yeah, Key and Peele. That's so hilarious.
White High says LOL. Aaron.
Aaron, exactly.
Blue Omni says, hey, look, Superman's in the background.
Ah, I know. Put him back here.
It looks all coy too.
Well, he just
Unless
he just punched someone out, so he's like, all right, I'm gonna knock this dude out. I'm not gonna bend his foot like that, 'cause that's a little bit. That's not a Superman pose. So I'll just quickly do something like this. Actually, let's do this. Make him like he's floating or something. So I'm gonna quickly just rough out the shape. His leg's a little bit wonky, but well, I'm still in the rough out stages right now. So Superman just he's like actually let's do this. Move his fingers right around here because he just punched someone out. He's like that's right. Punch you in the face. This is who's he gonna punch out? Let me see. One Punch Man.
Spanish club.
Huh? Oh, he just punched out. Let's say. I'm gonna move his head a little bit. I'm gonna rotate his head. So right now if you watch, I'm just scribbling shapes really because I'm just trying to establish. Um, trying to establish the characters in the space. I'm changing a lot of things on this because the characters are just basic, so they're not in the coolest pose. So I'm trying to make them cool as I'm drawing. So let's say no, oh yeah, maybe yeah, something like this. Someone got punched out.
What?
I'm gonna move this. Yeah. I'm gonna move this over. I don't like his thighs here. So I'm moving his hips, and I'm gonna move the his hips, and then I'm gonna move everything else. This is Magneto getting punched in his face by Superman. DC taking out Marvel. This guy here would be first. Let's see. He would be yeah. I'll just do him. Make him the Punisher. Ready? This is gonna be the Punisher. Obviously, he would be a little bit bigger because he's a Punisher. Probably. Jeez. It's a little bit off. It's a little bit off. As far as like the build of the character is off because this body shape is more for like it's more for like a thin guy. The shape looks like this guy weighs about 160, and and he's like 5'4" or something. And the Punisher's a lot bigger guy, so I have to shrink his head to make it fit, make it match. Okay. So kind of quickly, whatever. Gee, I kind of want to turn his head a little bit. So I'm quickly roughing this out. Here we go. Punisher. I'm gonna just change. I'm gonna move that arm around. Move the arm. I'm not gonna follow this pattern, the body shape 100%. I'm not gonna do it one-to-one because it's not. It doesn't fit the body shape of the Punisher. So I'm gonna change some things as I'm going. Let's say the Punisher is sitting something like this, and his hands is on a pole or something like this. So it means I'm probably going to end up doing some crazy lighting effect on his chest. Nice light up here. I'll do something with the fingers going here. So he kind of looks like he's relaxed, so that means I'm probably going to have to do some weight shifting. So his body is going to be somewhere on here. Open up his legs a little bit. Somewhere on here. something like that. Getting close. His feet somewhere over here. Maybe if I gave him a long trench coat, it might work. But no, it's as you can see, when I'm doing this, it's sort of having some kind of stiffness to it because I'm using these stiff models. Okay, um, so I'm forced to change a lot of things on it to kind of make it look interesting. I don't want to like that. This leg right here looks really stiff. The hips is kind of stiff, so I need to shift the balance a little bit on it. So I might have to. It would almost feel better if his legs was kind of like doing something like this, like going behind him maybe. Yeah, that feels a lot better already. Maybe if I just did this at all completely. If I push this, I'm gonna have to adjust that leg too. So I'm just gonna put that leg behind him. Yeah, that's more of a Punisher stance right there. Yep. Yep. See, now it looks a lot better. That looks way more of like a Punisher type stance. So I'll have to go through and keep working on the face, but it's going to take a long time. I gotta get the head right. The head looks a little bit. The head still looks weird, but I'll fix it later. Or let's say his hands. Let's say none. This wasn't here. It was something else. Or his hands could. I could have easily just go ahead and put his hands on the side. It still had, similar feel to it. I could easily have done that. But let's move on to Jubei. You know what? You know what? I would love to show you guys. You want to show him Jubei?
I don't know where that is.
It's downstairs.
Oh.
How about I just do that? I'll just show you guys Jubei instead of me even trying to. I won't even ruin the character. I'll just show you guys something that it'll top all of this. And this would be the blonde guy. Let's make him he has a receding hairline. Here's your blonde guy with a jacket on. So when I'm throwing these lines, I'm obviously because I've told you guys in the past to stay fat, to stay loose, and don't draw like this. Don't draw like that because that's when things come out stiff. So I'm purposely going fast just so I can um, start to transfer some energy um, from the lines into the character, into the pose. Because this is an energy line versus this. So just keep that in mind as you go. So this is a generic sample of what I was talking about for how to use the 3D models to kind of do like a quick layout of whatever you're going to work on. You can pose the characters, you can move stuff back and forth, you can increase the size, you can just play around in shape. But it's basically just a generic template because as you can see, all the models look the same. Unless you import your own model, if you have your own 3D model that has a different shape, you can easily do that. And I have a couple of my characters from Brothers Bond. They're in 3D. I could probably import those into this to kind of show you guys. But I'll show you. I'll show before the end of the stream, which is in like 10 minutes. Um, I'll show you guys a really cool jubei that I have in my studio. So, where are we going? Where are we going? Where are we going? Here we go. Blade, so Neon Flux. Worm's Eye View. That's a good one. All right, let's. How do you do a worm's eye view? So, worm's eye views, or if I'm wrong on this, I should just Google this to make sure I'm doing this right. I'm saying the right thing. That's the cool thing about doing this in front of a computer, you know. Make sure it's yes, worm's eye view. That's a good way of looking at it. Um, um, but it's very limited because you're basing it off of a ground plane, um, and that's your point of perspective. So um, uh, if you say if we're gonna go more of like a fisheyes view, that's anywhere. You could put it on top of a building, you could put it at the tip of a finger, you could put it on pretty much anywhere you want to put it. But it's basically the same sort of thing, I guess. I don't know. The fisheye is a little bit more um, of a spherical shape, and the worm's eye is more of a angular type of perspective. Um, so let's say worm's eye view. Let's push it. So let's say we're going to have a character. I'll just kind of draw him myself. Quickly draw something. This was really pushing it. See, it's pushing it to the point it ran off the page. So let me see, the hand was going to be somewhere on here, so that means I'd have to make it fit. You just have to push it. Keep everything in perspective. Actually, you know what? We're getting really close to the end, so I'm just going to go get that one piece, and then I'll because I really wanted to show it and show this to you guys. Since you mentioned Jubei, I'll be right back. This will take about
Finish your other screen.
15 seconds. Huh?
Your RV screen.
Oh, yeah. This will take about 15 seconds. It shouldn't be that long. So, guess what? I have a surprise for you guys. Check this out. This is like probably one of my coolest collections that I have. I have a series of original art from a variety of artists, and the best way to show you is just to show it to you. Ready? This is from Yutaka Minoa. He is the the huh? Oh no, they can see it. Oh, yeah, they can see it. They'll have to see it on the tiny screen because I can't show them through the computer. So this is him. This is an original piece that he scribbled for me. Um, this is the original designer for Ninja Scroll, and this is him right here. So here's your Jubei done for you, and you don't have to watch me draw it because it's already done right here. So this is it. This is one of my most cherished pieces because I'm just like you guys. I'm a nerd of the culture. I um, I love Ninja Scroll, Vampire Hunter D. He also did Vampire Hunter D. The guy's amazing, and I know he's working on some pretty cool stuff right now. I don't know if I can even say what he's working on, but yeah, that's all I can say about that. So there it is. That's the Juve drawing for you guys. So anyway, yeah, we have about 5 more minutes, 4 or 5 more minutes. Within the last couple minutes, let me see what I can do for you guys. Um, so we went over some perspectives. I did this worm's eye view. I should probably, I know I'm pretty sure I could push it even further, but yeah, whatever. It's fine enough. Um, Anything else you guys want to see for the last couple of minutes, or I'll just go through my announcement phases and close it out. Someone says, "Bless you, Hannah." Bless you, Hannah. Wow. Thank you, SMC Cardi. Am I McCarty? S McCarty? Is that it? I'm horrible with names. I'm the worst. I'm just butchering everyone's names. Um, you drawing Jubei. I did not draw Jubei. I would love to. I actually did a Ninja Scroll piece. I could probably find it for you guys the last couple of minutes as we close out, so you guys can see. I'll see if I could dig it up for you guys. Um, yes, you were late to the party, but it's okay. That's fine. Um, with all my stumbles that I did in the beginning, the video will be up for people to take a look at it later. So you can jump back on and you can watch this video and see the demonstrations. Just go ahead and skip through all the jibber jabber and just watch the art part, and you should be cool. So let me see if I could find that Ninja Scroll piece for you guys. I'm pretty sure I have it. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see. Where is this thing? Here it is. Okay, yeah, I know where it is. Here we go. That's one. This will take some short time. Short time. In the meantime, take a look at this. Here's this Batman piece I worked on a while back. Ooh, that's all 3D, guys. I built that in 3D, um, and I had fun working on this piece right here. This is another shot. That's all 3D also. Man, what the heck is this thing? I think I think I'm getting close. I'm getting close. Why can't I find this thing? Uh-huh. I'm trying to find this thing for these guys because I know I actually did it, but I can't find it right now. Yeah, I can't find it. I'm not sure what it is. So what I'll do is this. I'll just show it to you guys this way. Yeah, this is the best way I can do. I can go with it right now. So yeah, this is one of my Ninja Scroll pieces that I did a long time ago. Kind of I had to Google search it because I couldn't find it on my computer. I know it's somewhere around here. I just can't dig it up. But that's my old school Jubei. I did this back in I think it was 2006 when I did this. So this is pretty old. I'm pretty sure I'm way better than this now. So anyway, so yeah, so the time is up, and um, yeah. So I hope you guys had learned something today about perspective. Next time I do a live stream on Digital Thursdays, I'm not sure what I'll do, but most likely I'll probably just end up coloring a piece. Um, because I have a lot of stuff lined up that I need to color and I want to work. I want to show you guys as I'm coloring it. So it'd be cool if I can do that for you guys. And um, on Monday that's coming up, that's Commission Monday. So I have a list of commissions that I gotta knock out. And I would probably say from today there's about 6 more streams that I'm doing, and then after that I'm gonna be taking a break for the rest of the year. So um, yeah, and if I might stream again, but if I do, it's gonna be I won't announce it. It's probably gonna be one of those. Hey, here it is. I'm just gonna go stream right now. I'm just gonna throw it at you guys, and most likely it's probably gonna be in the middle of a show. So I'll let you guys know what's going on. I'll try to tweet about it, and then I'm just gonna give it to you guys. So you never know. But uh, I actually do have to meet up with Minoa in a little bit, so I might just stream with him too. I might just have him do some art on this stream for you guys. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he's down to it because he's kind of a shy guy. He doesn't like to, you know, he doesn't like to do demonstrations in front of people. Anyway, thanks again, and I will see you guys on Monday. Anything to say, Hannah?
Nope.
Okay, Hannah's like,
Bye, everybody.
I think they want to see your hands. Just wave. There she is. That's Hannah right there. Waving, saying hi and bye. All right, so I'll see you guys on Monday, and I'll do a. I'm not sure what I'll do, but I'll definitely do like a nice piece. I might do. I have a triptych piece I have to do, so I might just work on that one for you guys. But we'll see. Anyway, I'll see you guys on Monday. Goodbye.